just talked to the coaches, and they were kind of like, yeah, we'd love to have you. And so I made that switch last year, and then we ended up winning 16U Nike Nationals, which was huge.
I saw that. I read that last night, which is amazing.
Yeah, it was huge.
Like, that's big stuff.
That was on ESPN.
Yep, ESPN.
Yeah.
It is honestly just like a surreal feeling to just have all of these kids like surround you and just like want to be around you. I would say that's part of my why. Like what I do, I do it for those kids.
So you were special back then. You're even more special now. So
Thank you. I appreciate it.
it's amazing to know you, and it's also amazing to see what you've done and your growth so far. So
Oh,
yeah.
All right, everybody. This is the Good Hustle episode number 24. John Henry, I'm here. There's a couple big surprises we have today. Number one, we are filming at the best sneaker boutique in all of Pennsylvania. I say on the East Coast, Jawns on Fire. We are brought here today. Brian Dean is the owner. He's a phenomenal person, former guest. He invited us here, and that's why we're here today. So also, drum roll, please, our guest host, because Zach is on vacation, is a dear friend of mine, also a former guest, Macklin McCavage. Just kidding.
Nailed it.
Michelin McCavage. So we're excited to have Michelin here today. So say hi.
Hi. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be back on and co-host. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
Yeah, right.
And we also have a really cool guest. So I remember her from, and I didn't remember this until I talked to her the other day on the phone, but we were chatting the other day on the phone, and I said to her, because I remembered her face, I was like, did you play Upward? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I coached you in either whatever, first or second grade. And I'm pretty sure it was first grade. But we have Olivia Rose Jones, who is a phenomenal basketball player, local girl, and she's done a lot already in your career, including, I remember the most, your freshman year. So you're going to be a senior this year.
Yep.
You go to Westtown.
Yep.
Which is an amazing school in Westchester, right?
Yes.
And let's talk about your freshman year of high school.
Freshman year for me, I mean, it was kind of surreal. I mean, like Cedar Cliff before hadn't really made it anywhere, I would say. Like they would always have like a 9-9 season, like an even season.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it was kind of like coming into the season, I knew like expectations for our group were pretty high, I would say. Just because like I had been playing with those girls since, I mean, second grade at Mid-Penn Motion. And so like I knew expectations were high, but like we also had everybody behind us because we had nothing to lose really. So
yeah,
I mean, coming into it, it was really fun. It was really fun.
Yeah, and it was really cool to watch. I don't know, did you probably paid a lot of attention to this, like to watch the community surround their success.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And it was freaking awesome.
Yeah,
It was
fun going to the games.
Yeah.
Packed house. You had to buy tickets ahead of time.
I know, and I was like, I want to go. I remember I had to find tickets one time on Facebook, and somebody tried to scam me out of like $10. Like literally out of like $10. So like this lady was like, I got tickets, come send me this and blah blah blah. I was like, okay, and I was like, wait a minute, this don't sound right.
That's
so
insane.
people were trying to scam people for tickets for you when you were like 14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
It was crazy.
Nobody's ever done anything like that for me. What about for you, anyway?
No. I got lucky enough to just have tickets ready to go.
They actually paid people when you were playing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they paid people to be in our stands. They didn't even pull off the other side. So, you know.
So, but you guys have a history too. Talk about that.
So I actually knew Olivia before she was even born, I would say. Because I grew up with her older cousin all through elementary school, the whole way through high school, and then some. And then you went to St. Teresa's with my niece, Jordan, the whole way through 8th grade. But I don't think I got into your basketball career until you were in 7th grade?
Yeah.
Right? 2019? Yep. So...
And I'd already made her who she was by that time.
Yeah, she was already molded to a phenomenal
John
player.
standards.
Yes. But I think you were at 7th grade.
Yep.
And just seeing you play and how mature you were, I was like, oh, we have something here.
Yeah.
Definitely have something here. So you were special back then. You're even more special now. So
Thank you. I appreciate
it's
it.
amazing to know you. And it's also amazing to see what you've done and your growth so far. So,
Oh,
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known her for a while. I mean, I remember like during COVID, our St. Teresa season got shut down in my 8th grade year, which is when we were supposed to like win the whole state championship.
We were
like
picked.
that.
We were ready to go.
We were ready to
That's how
go.
we're gonna get a
COVID.
medal.
Yeah. COVID shut us down. And so I remember like she would come over to my house all the time. We would work out, even through like when I still played for Mid-Penn Motion before I transfer to a Philly AAU team. We would be in the gym all the time. I mean, she helped coach my mid-pen motion team. So she was around a whole lot.
And I think it was really, and we've talked a lot about that on the podcast, people that had, I mean, life changed, like people's lives altered and changed in different directions because of COVID. So for you, what was really good is you weren't playing ball, but the good part was you had people like Michaelin there who could help train you.
For sure.
And keep you moving forward.
For sure.
Like, because without that, like, when I played sports, you played football in the fall, basketball in the winter, baseball in the spring. That was it. You played for your school. That was what you played for.
Yeah.
You might have an all-star break. You might have fall ball, things like that. But the opportunities you guys had are much different, like especially when you're talking about mid-pen motion. Why don't you talk about a little bit, like, because people might not know what that is. So you want to talk about, like, AAU and how that's been instrumental for you?
So AAU has been a huge part of my life. I mean, like, basically my whole life. I started in second grade with mid-pen motion and Coach Wyatt. Well, actually, Coach Wyatt was my coach in third grade, but we had a coach. Her name was Katie Early. That was my first coach ever for AAU. And basically half of the girls I played with at Cedar Cliff my freshman year also played on that mid-pen motion team.
Wow.
And I played with them all the way up until my 8th grade year, which was their like 10th grade year, I guess, something like that. So we had been together for a while, so from like 2nd through 10th. And then I made the switch to Philly Bells, which at the time was the EYBL team. And then I played for Philly Bells for my 8th and 9th grade year. And then just last year I switched to Philly Rise. And then
Can you real quick explain what EYBL is?
Okay, yeah. EYBL, sorry, is
sorry.
The Nike circuit, basically. So top of the top competition.
Yeah.
The best you're gonna get, basically.
And I'm sorry, but that is very true.
Yeah, and are you invited to that, or do you have to try out for that?
So for me, it was a little bit different. There is tryouts for like our program, but because they had seen me play before, I kind of just talked to the coaches, and they were kind of like, "Yeah, we'd love to have you." And so I made that switch last year, and then we ended up winning 16U Nike Nationals, which was huge.
I saw that. I read that last night, which is amazing.
Yeah, it was huge.
Like, that's big stuff.
That was on ESPN.
Yep, ESPN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I watched it last year. I was like, I know 2 of them. Yeah.
I wish I would have seen it because I didn't know it was going on, but I think that's really cool because, like, just having those opportunities to showcase your talent in front of not just locally. Like, here you were showcasing your talent, and I'm sure you had, college recruits coming, watching you at Cedar Cliff.
Right.
And then, moving on, you're still in AAU, you're still playing national ball, but now you're at Westtown. Mm-hmm. So the move to Westtown, like, what went behind that? That's a big decision. And like I said, when we were in school, you played for your school.
Yeah.
There wasn't really much transferring back in the day. Like, the first big transfer I can remember was when LaShawn McCoy transferred from McDevitt back to Harrisburg. Like, it was like unheard of when that happened. Like, for me, like, we just did not see that. And if you wanted to play for a private school, you played for Trinity, you played for McDevitt.
Right.
But like, now people are transferring, moving. Like Chance Wester, who I met, he went from playing at Trinity to going out to Arizona to playing for Compass. Like, that's crazy to me. So tell me what was behind that decision, and what doors has that opened up for you?
There was a lot of thought behind the Westtown decision. I mean, I play for Coach Fran now. His name's Coach Fran Burbridge. And so he had been trying to get me since 8th grade before I went to Cedar Cliff. And my mom was always kind of like, no. Like, she was like, I'm not letting you move an hour and a half away when you're in 8th grade. So I really wanted to play with those girls that I'd been playing with forever and finish out their senior year with them. So I played 9th and 10th at Cedar Cliff, like you said. And after 10th grade year, I was kind of like, we made it to the state championship. We lost in the state championship.
Undefeated. You went the whole way
Undefeated,
so
yes. It was so fun to watch.
Don't cut yourself short.
Yep.
That was a great season.
But after that, I kind of like, I went into a lot of thought about like what I really wanted to do with basketball in past high school. And like, in order for me to get better, I knew that like I had to play against better competition, and like that's basically what Westtown was. I mean, not only just that, but education wise, like Westtown is an amazing school.
Yeah, like there's a lot of rich talent that has gone through there. Like, I just read last night, like Derek Lively, who just played in the finals.
Right.
And then you said Mo Bamba was there, and now we got, O Rose. So like, it's just getting better. In our opinion, right?
I think so.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Sure.
but you said, like, even said you were talking about an article about how it's really like all your practices, you literally have recruits just sitting there watching.
Yeah, so the one thing that was really eye-opening to me, so I went to Westtown in, I think it was like September 2nd. I think we had like a couple days, and then practice or like open gym started like a week later. And I tell you, there's so many Division I coaches just sitting on the sideline watching us practice. I mean it, like every single one too. Like every single open gym, practice, whatever, whenever they could be there, they were there. And that was really just something to me that I was like, yeah, this is what I wanted all along. Like this is really what I wanted.
Wow. I did not know that. That's amazing. That's awesome.
Like how was it nerve-wracking a little bit?
I mean, like people had like told me about it, and that coaches like would be there, but I kind of like didn't really like know what to expect going in. So after I saw it, I was like, yeah, it was a little bit nerve-wracking at first, but after that you just kind of got used to it. Because it's like in the Nike circuit, the same thing. Coaches are sitting right on the baseline, and there's thousands of coaches just in the gym at like you don't know who's watching. So
what was the biggest coach? Like it was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe so and so's here. Who was that? Like, do you remember your first one where you were like, oh man?
Like you mean at AAU or you mean at practice?
Any of them. Like anyone that you were like the first coach that you saw that was like, wow, I cannot believe that.
I mean, we've had Dawn Staley sit at our courts. We've had Gino from UConn sit at our courts.
Really?
The other week when we were in Houston, Kim Mulkey was sitting at our courts from LSU.
Oh, yeah.
Basically any...
Did she have her blaze on?
I don't know what she was wearing.
She had on a t-shirt.
Okay.
She was wearing something purple. I don't really know. But when I tell you that... I think in our first AAU tournament this past year, we had basically you would look and you see every head coach of every major program sitting at your sidelines. It's insane.
Yeah, and you had a great program at Cedar Cliff. The coach over there is a great guy. I've known him for years. He's awesome. He runs a great program. But I get it. Like, you're trying to play against different types of talent.
Right.
And that's where our world is today when it comes to high school sports.
Right.
Like, do you have to go where the talent is?
You do.
Because everybody else is doing it.
Yep.
So you can't leave yourself behind.
Exactly.
Did you lose players like when you were coaching, like at all? Like, or did you see a lot of that when they came into college that you guys were recruiting at prep schools instead of just regular high schools? Like, how was that for you guys?
No, you mean for at East Stroudsburg?
Yeah.
So we went to a lot of, we didn't really recruit from any prep schools or anything like that. We went to a lot of, I should say, Marla, who got me into East Stroudsburg.
Right.
She went to a lot of the, like, spooky nooks, like, all around, like, all the live events and whatnot, because we were in D2. So we couldn't go to every single AAU event there was. It had to be a live event. So a lot of the spooky nooks, oh my gosh, I almost said New York State, like Atlantic City, Maryland, all kind of around there. But we recruited more like kids from, I guess, just from my high schools and whatnot instead of prep schools.
Which makes sense. I mean, Division II, but at the same time, it's like, it's just crazy what's going on.
It's still pretty fast. It's not D1, definitely not D1, but so.
And I remember when you played in Upward, you were taller.
Yes, yep.
And it was fun because in Upward, if you guys don't know what Upward Sports is, it's a big Christian league, and basically it's co-ed teams, which are amazing, and it's really fun to coach second, third grade, because when I've been coaching that for years, I coached varsity and I coached middle school ball and all that jazz. But when I coached second and third grade, the camaraderie of the girls and boys is one of the coolest experiences ever. But when you have somebody tall on your team, that person dominates. Literally, they get a rebound on an 8-foot rim, and then they shoot it and make it. And I can literally remember, I can visualize still you doing that. Like, just standing above the crowd, just bloop, bloop, just making buckets.
We were probably like, yes.
I was like, yep.
I'm a tall kid.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, that's what you want. You're like,
yeah,
I want a tall kid. I'm like, a bunch of shorties, this is what I got this year. I said, I need one tall kid, like, per team, so we can be even. But, yeah, that's kind of how I remember you.
Yeah, Upwards definitely was a huge part of my life. I mean, I knew my mom was like, okay, I'm signing you up, blah, blah, blah. I started Upwards in kindergarten. Which I don't really know what age you're really supposed to start at. Was it kindergarten?
Kindergarten.
Yeah,
kindergarten through seventh grade in football, 6th grade in basketball.
Gotcha. Yeah. So kindergarten, I started Upwards, and then I played that I think until I could play CYO. And then
CYO at what?
Second grade.
3? Yeah.
I think I played Upwards and CYO at the same time. I played at Our Lady of Lourdes first because St. Teresa's wouldn't let you play until you were in 3rd grade.
That is very true.
Oh, yeah.
So I started at Our Lady of Lourdes because they let me play in 2nd grade, and then I moved over to St. Teresa's in 3rd.
Yeah.
And you played varsity.
Oh, I played JV.
Yeah.
I played JV.
So you're in 8th grade. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I St. Teresa's and St. Joe's both have really great programs.
Yeah.
Like St. Teresa's varsity this year went really far, and so did St. Joe's. They were both like deep into the state tournaments this year, which was really, really cool.
The boys won it
This year. Yeah,
the boys won it this
at
year.
St. Teresa's.
Yep.
Yeah. Because my friend...
Tell him who's on the team.
My brother.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
why.
Yes, tell him who's on
Yep.
the team.
Yeah,
Yes.
I remember your brother too. Yeah, but I could tell you, like, so my buddy Adam, he coaches at St. Joe's, and his daughter plays, and they have a really, really deep team. Like, they were phenomenal. They went to states this year. They ended up losing. I think they finished like 4th place, and it was at State College was the big tournament this year. But like, it's really fun to watch these kids grow, and like, when you look at a kid today, like, to me, the ones that I think are going to add a ton of success to their lives are the ones that are playing on team sports, like you. Like you said, going into your freshman year, and then you wanted to finish out with those girls that you played basketball with when they were seniors. Like, tell me how that was for you. Like, because to me, to have that ability to just say, you know what, I'm a part of something, and I want to stick with it until it's over. Like, we don't see that every day today, and it's really neat. So, like, for you, that's a great thing to have.
Yeah, I mean, those girls meant a lot to me. They were my best friends, I mean, for forever, basically, from before I could remember. So it was like, I think it was just a given that I was going to stick it out with them and play, because we had a really, really good team, not only, like, just from being together all the time, outside of basketball even, and playing with them for so long, we had great chemistry.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed playing with them. Coach Wyatt was an amazing coach. I mean, yeah, so making the decision to Westtown was definitely like really hard on me.
Oh, I believe it.
It was really hard on me, but
Because you're leaving a community, but
Exactly.
you're going to another one, and like we talked about earlier, there's going to be more doors that open up. But even when when you were on the show, you had the same conversations. Like, basically, those people that you play, those girls you played basketball and that you coach with, is the best friends of your life.
Yes. Yeah. They still are.
Yeah.
Yeah. You make friends forever. Sorry, I mean,
good.
yeah. You make friends forever, either with you play with them or you coach with them, and it just opens up all these doors to the next level, or if you want to go somewhere else. It's a really amazing community.
Subscribe on the YouTube, and also we are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts now. So if you want to listen without the video part, you can do that.
Yep. And if you're looking for any real estate needs, whether you're buying, selling, or investing, please contact Zach or myself. Our numbers are below. Back to the podcast. And as a reminder, if you didn't watch the Mikeland episode, she is actually a woman who's a pioneer. She's actually coaching varsity boys and JV boys basketball at East Pennsboro High School, which is something that in today's day and age does not happen. And it's freaking amazing.
Thank you.
And it's really
Thank
the
you.
reasons we had her on the show, and we've become friends because of that, because she's such a good person.
I appreciate that.
And because she's on this show, no offense to you, it's going to get more views than normal because her mom puts it on play and then just lets it repeat.
That's
so
very
every day
true.
we get 24 more views from her mom.
So I probably would have only had about 22 views, but I'm up to like 560 some because she just puts
It's on
it on
a loop right now.
on a
so
loop,
it's
yeah.
good. If this was a live
So
feed-
shout out to my mom.
Yep,
Thank you. I love you.
Yep, she's amazing.
Yeah. So
oh my goodness.
you're gonna get probably 1,000 views because she'll just
Yeah,
keep
it'll
it
be
going.
awesome.
Maybe
her.
2,000. Yeah.
So the cool thing is, like, when it came to her and getting recruited, why don't you talk to her about like her recruitment and how that's been
I
going?
think ours were a little bit different.
A little bit, but
Yeah.
that's okay. It's still similar.
So I got recruited through AAU, I played for Advanced Hoops, which is now Team PA.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Advanced Hoops.
I
Advanced
remember
Hoops
Advanced
under
Hoops.
Bob
I remember
Felker.
all
He's
the
still,
shirts.
he's still coaching. He was a great coach. DeSale, so Fred Richter, came up to me at a tournament, and that's kind of how I got involved with that. And then he came to all my high school games, and he said, we'd love to have you. And that's kind of how I was recruited, even with other different schools I was talking to. So mine was just kind of going to different, tournaments and talking to the coaches and whatnot and going from there. Yours is probably a little bit different because, you're the real deal. You're Olivia Rose Jones from this area. So I know, I have to. But like when you hear Olivia Jones, like everyone knows who Olivia Jones is. They're like, Olivia Jones? I said, yeah, I coached her. And
I know what you're gonna say. I beat her.
I beat her in a 3-point contest, but no, I'm just kidding.
We had to remove the net.
Yeah, well, she did beat me once. You did beat me once
I did.
with
I
the net.
definitely did.
The shooting
Machine.
shooting machine. Then once we took that down, it was game over.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because when Brian, he suggested you come on the show, Brian Dean, shout out. He said your name. I was like, I know who that is.
Everybody knows who that is.
And then I was like, well, it was really cool just to kind of go back and be like, oh, I do know who that is. That is such an amazing thing. But yeah, so tell us about, when did you get your first offer? How old were you?
I was going. Hold on, I'm trying.
You're young. You're definitely young.
Going into freshman
Well,
year?
first Division I offer or first offer?
Let's go with both.
First offer, I got it in 6th grade going into 7th.
Yeah.
From who?
Ship. I got
Amazing.
They
All right.
saw her potential.
I played against her daughter,
Yeah.
and then right after that, she was like, "Yeah, we would love to have you at our school." And then first Division I offer was I got it from Monmouth. And,
Oh, yeah, Monmouth, great school.
I think I was.
It's on the beach.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It's on the beach. Yeah.
Going into freshman year, or it was like spring of freshman year.
Wow.
I can't remember.
I think.
Was it 8th grade going into 9th?
I think it was.
I think it was 8th
eighth
grade going into 9th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember you posted something or I saw something. I was like, oh my goodness. But it's the start of so many. You have a long list. Like, I think it's maybe 3 pages long.
Yeah.
Of all these.
Well,
but it's well deserved.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I think the biggest thing that you have going for you is not just all the Division I offers. You know, I was kind of blown away when I read the fact that you have tons of Ivy League offers, and their offers have to look a little bit different than your school offers, like your basic state schools and Division I schools, because obviously they don't do the athletic scholarships. It's different. But you have the grades for that and the brains for that, which I think is one of the most beautiful things in the world, because not only are you a star athlete, you're a star student, which does not happen every day. So you're not only thinking about your career in basketball, you're actually thinking about your future when it comes to a career after basketball, which also doesn't happen, because we can talk about professional athletes and the fact that, I don't know, I think it's like 85% of them end up filing for bankruptcy within 3 years of their last year.
Wow.
It's crazy.
It's crazy stats.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're thinking ahead of that and using your brain as well is it's an awesome thing. So how did that feel when those offers started coming in, where you're like, wow, Harvard's looking at me, Princeton's looking at me? Like, how does that feel?
Keep going.
Because I went to Cornell.
Okay.
I got a hot dog. I was there to visit, and that was it. I didn't actually go to school there. I just got a hot dog, and I was at the gift shop. I did buy an alumni T-shirt.
As you should.
I did not.
You should.
Andy Bernard. You know what I'm talking about?
Kind of.
The Office.
Yeah, okay.
He went to Cornell.
Yes, I'm with you.
So, but
Sorry.
anyway, talk about that. Like, how cool was that to get those types of offers?
But before you list all your Ivy League schools.
Yeah, list them
'cause
all.
You have a nice, hefty list.
I have Columbia, Princeton, Harvard, and Penn.
Yale?
So I have
Not
those
Yale
four.
yet?
I don't have Yale yet.
What's wrong with Yale? What's wrong with them? They need to figure it out.
I think I've been telling everyone you have Yale as well. So
It's okay.
it's coming. I think I'm
It's
seeing into the future. So
I have talked to Yale before, though.
there you go.
Yeah,
you've
I've
to Yale,
talked to them. I don't have the offer yet.
So
but-
what about some of your other offers that you got? What are some of the other big schools?
I have Delaware, Northwestern, UIC, Rhode Island, Fairfield, Buffalo,
Too many to count.
Providence, UMass, 4 Ivies that you said. I'm missing some.
But those are all like really.
Davidson,
They're all great
Oh,
schools.
Davidson.
Davidson.
Steph Curry.
JMU.
James Madison, great school. Have you been to that campus?
I have not.
Stunning
Really?
campus. Their football, and they just won a national championship in football a couple years ago.
Gotcha.
Well, probably a handful of years ago. But those are all like really good schools.
St. Joe's. I forget.
There's going to be more to come.
I
got
think
it.
there's like there's like a total. I think I have a total of 23.
It's amazing.
And these are full rides, basically.
Yeah, all the ones besides Ivies are. Yeah.
Right. Understood. Yeah.
But honestly, for the Ivy part, I think that it felt really rewarding. When I left Cedar Cliff to go to Westtown, I was number 3 in my class.
Wow. So you left being number 3 to go to Westtown.
Yeah. So my mom, she's the director of secondary ed for West Shore, the school district that I came from, Cedar Cliff. And so academics for her and just my parents in general have always been like the forefront before basketball, like
Right.
way before basketball. And I know for some kids it's different and like some parents are different, but my parents strictly enforce like education first because basketball is going to end at some point.
Yeah.
And they always told me that, and I was always like basketball's never going to end.
Parents are
but
amazing. Yeah.
for sure. They definitely prepared me
Well,
for
some
that.
people are basketball lifers.
It's true. It's true.
Now I coach, and all I can do is shoot the ball. So yeah.
But honestly, there's nothing wrong with having that to be a part of your life. Because for me, I played basketball, and I missed out on a lot of opportunities because, you know, as she knows and most people know, that I'm sober like almost 16 years. So I'm a recovering addict and alcoholic. But then to have that opportunity when I was basically 30 or 31, I started coaching, and you were within my first 2 years of coaching, so I probably had no idea what I was doing. Still taking credit. But the opportunities that basketball after playing offers too are amazing. So if there's like things that you can do with your career, like with my career, I have the availability and time to schedule things like coaching. Now, I don't feel like I have the time now to coach at a school because it was 4 or 5 days a week. We were traveling. But that's why Upward, I actually went back to Upward because it was one night a week and on weekends, and I could still make an impact on kids. And just the fact that what you're doing today, and you probably know this, but you may not always see it, you're making an impact on kids all over the place, especially young women that are playing basketball, that are looking up to you and thinking, wow, if Rose.
Oh,
Rose. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Rose.
Rose. If Rose, yeah, cut that, edit that. No, I'm just kidding. If Rose can do this, like, it's something that I want to do. And, like, what can you say to kids like that that want to get to that next level, whether it's just playing on middle school or just making the varsity team?
Can I chime in real quick?
Yeah, of course.
So going off of the kids looking up to you, I've seen it, like, firsthand. Kids come up to her, they want her autograph, like, they want to be Rose. Not only are you a great basketball player, but you're such an amazing role model as well. Like, when I first got into your basketball scene, like I said, she's so mature for her age, and she's so respectful to everybody. Like, everyone, like, these little kids just want to be like you. Heck, I want to be like you, actually. She is well beyond her years, and just the way you present yourself, it's actually amazing to see. So you're a great role model to the young kids, to John and I, really. So
well, that's really funny, and I literally almost started crying. I was watching this. Like, I don't know if you saw that, but you don't know this, but when you're telling her that, you can tell she looks up to you. Like, 100%. When you were telling her,
I'm gonna cry because I want to be her when I get older.
But I'm telling you, I just witnessed her looking at you as a role model, and literally I got choked up for a second there. Like, it's beautiful because not only are you helping her, she's helping you, but this is like everybody's here together. And that's why we created this show. Originally, I don't know if you know this, but it was a real estate podcast for one episode. And I was like, I don't want to do that. That's boring. Like, so we're trying to share people's experience, strength, and hope to help other people. So, like I said, like, and she said, like, you are a role model. So how does that make you feel? Like, what suggestions
definitely. Sorry,
give?
I just wanted to see it because I saw it firsthand, and I was like, oh my goodness.
No, that's what we want to. We want to hear about that. Like, what do you think of this?
Honestly, like, it's really rewarding and special. Like, I've had like a lot of kids. Like, I mean, even after like the Cedar Cliff games, no matter win or lose, those kids would come up to me after the game, give me hugs, want to take pictures, stuff like that. And it is honestly just like a surreal feeling to just have all of these kids like surround you and just like want to be around you. And like, I would say that's part of my why. Like, what I do. Like, I do it for those kids. Especially, like, that's another reason why it was a hard decision leaving, like, going to Westtown, because I knew I had all of these girls that like would come to every single game, would cheer for me, would do everything. And so it was definitely a hard decision in that piece. But when I scored my 1,000 points, I scored it up back here in York.
Oh,
and
York.
where was it?
York School of Technology.
Oh, yeah.
So
York School of Tech. And I had so many little girls come to the game, and that was just like, it was surreal again.
That's really neat.
So I was at that game, and yeah, like you said, it was surreal, and just seeing all these little girls go up to her, and you're so humble about it. You take time to talk, and just each and every single one. There could be 1,000, there could be 2. You take the time to talk to them, to say hello, take a picture, and then, you know what I mean. She's not just like, hey, whatever. Probably one of the most humblest kids I've ever met.
Yeah.
And she would cross anybody over. So, like, she's 2 threats to her. And she has the brain. So, triple threat.
Yeah, triple threat. And it reminds me, because we had Alex Irby on the show. And I've become friends with him over the last few months. We have some connections with family and things like that. My best friends, yada, 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 from high school. But he is one of the most humble people I've ever met. And you are like a spitting image of him when it comes to humility. And humility is a good word. It's not like somebody's made fun of you or you're whatever. It's a good word where it means basically you're humble and you have humility where you don't have to brag about everything that you've done.
No.
And like Alex takes his time to spend with kids all the time. So like Alex has his girlfriend's little brother Noah, and then one of our other best friend's son, little Joey. Like he spends time with this 12 and 13-year-old kid at all times. Like he's always their role model. These kids look up to him.
Right.
And he spends time and takes time out of his day to talk to kids that are like, he'll take a picture at a Chick-fil-A, like whatever.
Right.
Like, and that's important for these kids. Like that gives them something like, you're never going to believe. And they go, I guarantee 90% of these kids that look up to you, when they go home, the first thing they do is pick up a basketball. Guaranteed. Because they just were like, I just met her. I want to be like her. And they put a ball in their hands. And like, it doesn't get better than that.
I back that 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because after we leave here today, I'm not making this up. I'm actually going to Dick's Sporting Goods to buy my Gorilla basketball hoop and have them install it in my driveway because I've wanted to hoop.
You
forever.
actually inspired him.
You inspired me.
Yeah.
You inspired me to spend $2,500 to be on a basketball hoop. So, no, but really, I think that's some of the cool stuff. So let's talk about coming up senior year.
Oh goodness.
And there's big
Sounds
decisions.
crazy.
Yeah,
It is crazy.
Like I feel like I was definitely just a
13.
freshman. I was just a freshman.
13 when I started with you. I mean, I remember you this big at the Christmas at St. Teresa's, the Christmas forum or you guys sang.
Yeah,
You and
well,
Jordan
the,
were this big, and I was like,
Christmas performance or whatever. I forget what it's called.
and now she's going to be a senior. You're going to be
Stop it.
18.
Can we get that on tape? Can we?
My trust me when I tell you,
You
my
said
father
But I also
taped
might have
everything.
it somewhere.
my dad is a video dad, as you know.
This is your dad at all times.
Like he same camera.
Is amazing.
I think I have every single basketball game I've ever played from the time that I
tripod
started.
and-
Yes,
yeah.
from the time that I started all the way until now. I think in my life, he's probably only missed a total of like 4, maybe 5 games in my entire
And
life.
you've played 1,000.
And I've played, well over.
Yeah.
And he has recorded. I have every single one. From the time I was born, I have video of everything.
Well, it's funny. After we talked, you found footage from Upward
Upwards,
at some point,
yep.
and you sent it to me. You're like, "Look, here's me at Upward."
Like I'm telling you, he's an amazing dad. So for sure.
Yes. So senior year, you got decisions to make too.
I definitely do.
And who do you think is the biggest role model when it comes to these decisions you're going to make? It's going to be your parents.
Yeah, for sure. I would say both my parents for sure. My mom specifically has been the one guiding me, I would say, through the recruiting process. She knows what she's talking about. I mean,
She's in education.
She's done so much research, especially on the educational piece, and just being like having all my classes that I need for NCAA, that type of stuff. She's all on top of it, so I know exactly what I have to do. So she's definitely helped me guide me through it for sure.
So when do you actually have to make a decision by? Is it February?
I don't know when the second signing period is. The first one is November.
Yeah, I think it's
something.
February is the second one.
But I'll have my decision made before I go to school, most likely.
Oh, this summer? Oh. But
Before.
how will you announce it? Will you come to Jawns on Fire and do the announcement?
I was talking to Brian, and I'm gonna do it here for sure, but I just don't know when exactly.
If I don't get invited, I'm just going to stare through the window.
Same here.
both will
we
get
could
an
both-
invite.
Actually, there's probably going to be a line, so we'll probably have to be the whole way back.
No, I'll give you VIP.
Oh, thank you.
I'll let you have that, all right.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the other thing is when you're going to make a big move this year. Your team's going to be good this year. Like, are you just excited? I mean, nervous too?
For Westtown, I'm super excited. I mean, Coach Fran, last year we played IMG, and we played a couple teams from out of state. This year we're playing a lot more. So we're playing in a lot more tournaments. We're going over Thanksgiving. We're going to Dallas for a tournament. Oh. It's gonna be super fun. Right before Christmas, we're going to Arizona for Nike Tournament of Champions, but for high school year. So
Will that be on ESPN?
Yes, that will be.
I will watch that.
Yeah, and then
You could have double. You
yeah.
could
So
have AAU and high school.
if we get this one this year,
That'd be amazing.
we go July. I think it's July 15th to 22nd.
Oh, this year?
Yeah, we
coming
have
up
a
next month?
17U Nike Nationals this year.
And that's on ESPN too?
The championship will be.
Okay.
So if we make it to the
Yeah,
championship,
you making it.
Yeah, they're definitely making it. I've seen her team play.
come on.
They would destroy my high school boys team.
Would
No
they?
offense to East Penn High School boys basketball.
Shout out.
I love you guys. Shout out. But they would
They put a hurting on them.
Yes. Yes.
We should sign that. We should schedule that.
We should schedule that.
schedule
And
that.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think. Wait, is Ralph on the team?
he is.
Yeah,
He's
he
going
needs-
to be a senior as well.
Rel needs humbled.
That's Dayrell Everett.
He needs humbled. We should schedule it. It's like
Very
that.
good
That's the kid
kid.
I saw play last
Shout
year.
out, Rel.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, he also scored 1,000. You scored 1,000,
Yep.
both in junior years.
Your cousin scored 1,000. Naomi Footed.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yep.
I coached her, and we just figured out she was your cousin as well. And then my nephew, Josh, who ended up playing soccer at Bloomsburg, I think he had like 1,500 points total.
That's crazy.
Yeah, which is good. He started as a freshman, so and he was a stud basketball player, but he's only like 5'8", and but it's single A, and he
Yeah.
was Westtown Christian Academy. But at the same time, his talent was
Yeah.
like he was the leading rebounder
Oh wow.
on the team, and he was like the shortest kid.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But he had the jumps though, so which was cool. And I will tell you, Zach and I, who couldn't be here today, which we shout out Zach. I was going to get a cardboard cutout, but I couldn't have it made in time. So if you guys could like superimpose something here, like a Zach thing, we will come see you play this year for sure.
Okay.
We'll follow your schedule. We'll definitely make some trips and bring Michaelin too. Like we'd like to all come down and check out some of your games and just kind of see the journey, because just to be a part of it today is really neat for me.
For sure. Yeah, I think we're gonna do something to try to get the truck down to Westtown at some point. So.
Oh, that would be awesome.
But we'll also be back at the York tournament. We're doing that one again next year. He kind of does it to bring me back closer to home. So
All right.
That's really neat.
Thank him for that.
Yeah,
It's
for
about 30-minute drive.
Yep.
So do you guys think you're going to two-peat?
oh, for sure. I mean, well, Westtown is on. Wait, you mean for Westtown or for AAU?
Westtown. Or how many?
We're on. This is their third state championship.
So you had 3 in a row. You were part of the third one.
Yeah, this is my first.
And now
It'll be your two-peat.
Yes.
Their four-peat.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
which is crazy.
And we have
Same.
we have a lot of talent, young talent.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 of our freshmen, well, going to be sophomores, are in the top 25 ESPN class.
Really?
One just made the USA team.
Wow.
It's insane.
That is insane. That's great to be a part of that, too, though. It shows
It is.
what kind of talent they bring through and the reason you went there.
Yeah.
So to kind of end the show, I want you to kind of just share anything that you can say about your experience, strength, and hope that could help young girls today. Anything you want.
Okay.
Because it's really important. No pressure.
I would say, like, for me, first things first is to always keep God first. That's just me. But no matter what you go through, ups and downs, it's going to look different for everybody. Because your path isn't going to be the same as somebody else's. But if you keep him at the forefront, I mean, he's going to guide you and take you where he wants you to be. I would also say hard work. Like, it takes a lot of work to play any sport at any level. Like you said, it's D2, but it's still a lot of work.
It's
Any
college
level is a
basketball.
lot of work.
Yes.
So
Way different than D3 from
Right.
played the coaching D2. Yeah. So you completely understand.
So just like hard work, especially, and I would say just to keep working, because I mean, there's always gonna be people that are better than you, I would say, and I learned that like when I made the transition from Mid-Penn Motion to Philly Bells. I was pretty good for around here, but pretty good for around here isn't the same as like the bigger perspective of everybody. Like when I went to Philly, it was like a whole different world.
Yeah.
Like I really was like eye opened to some of like the better talent, I would say. So to always keep working, no matter what, no matter how good people say you are, no matter how bad people say you are, no matter what, just keep working.
And I would feel bad if we didn't make a shout out, but I would love for you to give a shout out to Tyrese and talk about what he does.
Oh my
'Cause
goodness,
we
yeah.
forgot to talk about that, but I think it's a really important thing for you to discuss.
100%. Tyrese Smith, shout out him, and Reese Prep Network, or I forget what, RPN. So he got to me when I was about to be a freshman, my 8th grade going into 9th grade year, right before Cedar Cliff. So before I was even like really anything, I would say, like a decent at
You've
basketball.
always been
You were
something.
something.
No, but I
Don't
mean
be
like
that humble.
Yeah. You're something. You just didn't see it yet.
before I got to high school, he does this thing where he promotes athletes, boys and girls, all over the country. And he does it for free. He doesn't do it for any cost. Like
It's a nonprofit.
Nonprofit, and he promotes them. And I think it's just such an amazing thing because around here, it's like, not even just around here, but in basketball in general, you can't really find many people that are looking out for your best interest, I would say, at all times. And he definitely is one of those people that kind of has been there for me from day one and has promoted me and done everything he could to possibly help me and everybody else around that kind of is in his network.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, because people try to line their pockets.
Exactly.
They do. And
exactly.
It's really great. I don't know this guy, but I read about him, and I read about some of the articles. I read some of the articles where you talked about him, and I think people like him that are literally helping student athletes, especially in high school, and help promote you and basically brand you in a positive way. I think that is, there's no number you could put on that
100%.
Of value. It's invaluable. It's unbelievable. So I'm just really happy that there are people like that. I'm really happy that you have your parents.
For sure.
God saved my life. I mean, I'm, like I said, like almost 16 years sober. And if I don't put God first, I'm nothing. I really are. I'm a very selfish person otherwise. And I'm really glad Michaelin was here because, like I said, when I asked her to be here and to know you guys have such a long history is awesome. And then the fact that we both got to coach you and take all the credit is really cool as well. I'm just kidding.
But I also want to shout out Brian. He is one of the best. He is the best to me. I mean, he gave me my first NIL around here, and just the whole experience with Jawns on Fire has been nothing short of amazing.
Yep.
He's an amazing person, and I can't thank him enough for everything he's done for me.
I can attest to that as well.
He's amazing.
Very, very amazing person. So.
And I guess Miles too, but
yeah, Miles, whatever.
Shout out to Miles as well. Yeah.
I actually have 4 years left of eligibility, so I'm looking for my first NIL deal. All right, thank you. That's episode 24. We are so glad we had you here.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. Cool. Thanks.